My beloved child. Before you do anything else, pause for a moment and listen carefully. There is a reason you found this message today. Out of all the things you could be doing, out of all the places you could be looking, you are here right now. That is not something to ignore. And before we go any further, don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a message that someone may want you to hear, and the deeper you go into these words, the more you may understand why your heart felt drawn here in the first place. Have you ever felt like someone was thinking about you when you least expected it? Not because they called. Not because they sent a message. Not because they appeared in front of you. But because something inside you quietly whispered that your name was resting in someone's thoughts. Many people ignore that feeling. Many people brush it aside. But sometimes the heart notices things long before the eyes do. Today, I want you to imagine something. Imagine a room filled with people talking, sharing stories, discussing their plans, their hopes, and their dreams. Now imagine that, for just a moment, your name enters that conversation. The room becomes quiet. A smile appears. A memory returns. And suddenly, someone begins speaking about you. What would they say? Would they talk about your mistakes? Would they talk about your struggles? Or would they speak about the strength they saw in you when nobody else noticed? Listen closely. Because this message is connected to that question. Someone may want you to know that your presence has mattered more than you realize. You may think your kindness went unnoticed. It didn't. You may think your patience was forgotten. It wasn't. You may think the effort you made disappeared into silence. It never did. Every encouraging word. Every moment you chose understanding instead of anger. Every time you stood back up after life tried to push you down. Someone noticed. And that realization is more powerful than you can imagine. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The world often convinces people that only loud victories matter. It celebrates the obvious. It rewards what everyone can see. But some of the greatest things you have ever done happen quietly. No applause. No spotlight. No audience. Just you making a choice that reflected the goodness inside your heart. And today, that goodness is returning to you in the form of a message. A message that says, you have not been invisible. You have not been forgotten. You have not been overlooked. In fact, there may be people whose lives became brighter because you entered them. The surprising part? You may never fully know how much of a difference you made. Think about that. A smile you gave someone on a difficult day. A conversation that lasted only a few minutes. A moment when you listened instead of judging. Those things seem small. But sometimes the smallest actions create the biggest memories. And right now, as you hear these words, there is something else you should know. Someone may be carrying a memory of you that still makes them smile. A memory they return to when life feels heavy. A memory that reminds them that good people still exist. What if that person never told you? What if they kept it to themselves? What if they assumed you already knew? That is why this message matters. Because sometimes the words we most need to hear are the words that were never spoken out loud. And there is more. Much more. The next part of this message reveals something unexpected. It reveals why certain moments in your life happened exactly when they did. It reveals why some doors closed while others quietly remained open. It reveals why certain connections never truly disappeared from your story. And when you hear it, you may look back on your journey in a completely different way. But before we get there, hold on to this truth. You are far more valued than you realize. You are far more appreciated than you think. And you are far more remembered than you know. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the message is only beginning. And what comes next may be the part you were meant to hear all along. There is something remarkable you need to understand before this message continues. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what you are about to hear is the part most people never realize until years later. Many people spend their lives searching for proof that they mattered. Proof that they left a mark. Proof that their presence changed something. But what if I told you that someone may already carry that proof inside their heart? What if the message someone wants you to hear is not about what you failed to do, but about what you succeeded in doing without even realizing it? Think about that for a moment. While you were focused on your challenges, someone was quietly inspired by your perseverance. While you were questioning your path, someone was admiring your courage. While you were wondering if anyone noticed your efforts, someone was remembering them. And this is where the story becomes extraordinary. Because there are moments in life that seem ordinary when they happen. Yet years later, they become unforgettable. A simple conversation. A simple smile. A simple act of kindness. A simple moment of understanding. At the time, they feel small. But in another person's memory, they become priceless. And right now, there may be someone who remembers a moment involving you far more clearly than you do. That sounds surprising. But it happens every day. People often forget what they said. They often forget where they were. They often forget the details. But they never forget how someone made them feel. And that may be exactly why this message found you today. Because someone may want you to know that your impact was greater than you imagined. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now listen carefully. There is another layer to this message. One that very few people expect. Sometimes life delays certain answers for a reason. Not to hide them forever. Not to keep them away from you. But to make sure you are ready when they arrive. Think about the moments when you felt confused. Think about the times when nothing seemed to make sense. Think about the days when you wondered whether your efforts were leading anywhere at all. Now imagine looking back and suddenly understanding why everything unfolded the way it did. Imagine realizing that every step was quietly leading you toward a greater understanding. That realization changes everything. Because the story was never as random as it seemed. The connections you formed. The lessons you learned. The people who crossed your path. Even the unexpected turns. They all became part of a bigger picture. And that picture is beginning to reveal itself. There is a reason your attention is here right now. A reason your curiosity is growing. A reason your heart feels pulled toward the end of this message. Because the most important part has not been revealed yet. Not even close. The next revelation is the one that surprises people the most. It is the moment when they realize they have been carrying a hidden gift all along. A quality they underestimated. A strength they overlooked. A light they never fully recognized. And when that realization arrives, everything begins to look different. The future looks different. The past looks different. Even the present moment feels different. Because suddenly they understand something powerful. They understand that their story is far from finished. In fact, some of the most meaningful chapters may still be ahead. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And here is what makes this even more incredible. The message someone may want you to hear is not only about who you have been. It is also about who you are becoming. Every experience has been shaping you. Every challenge has been strengthening you. Every lesson has been preparing you. Piece by piece. Day by day. Moment by moment. You may not have noticed the transformation while it was happening. Most people don't. Growth often happens quietly. But one day, you look back and realize you are no longer the same person. You are stronger. Wiser. More compassionate. More confident. More prepared for the opportunities ahead. And that realization is closer than you think. Much closer. Because the next part of this message uncovers something unexpected about your journey. Something that connects the past, the present, and the future in a way that may leave you speechless. A truth that has been waiting patiently for the perfect moment to be understood. And that moment may be arriving now. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most surprising part of the message is still ahead. A quiet truth is about to come into focus. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this part of the message reveals something that many people spend years trying to understand. Earlier, you heard that someone may carry a meaningful memory of you. But now it is time to go deeper. What if that memory was never just about a single moment? What if it was about the feeling you left behind? The world moves quickly. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Months become years. Yet somehow, certain people remain unforgettable. Not because they were perfect. Not because they had all the answers. But because they made others feel seen, valued, and understood. And that may be exactly what happened because of you. There are people who entered rooms and were forgotten. There are people who spoke words that disappeared. But there are also people whose presence quietly remained long after they left. People who changed the atmosphere simply by being themselves. People who made others believe in goodness again. People who reminded others that kindness still exists. And whether you realize it or not, you may have been that person for someone. Pause and think about that. Somewhere in the story of another human being, you may be remembered as a bright chapter. A chapter they return to whenever they need hope. A chapter that reminds them of something beautiful. A chapter that still matters. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now here comes the surprising part. Most people assume their value comes from what they achieve. But often, their greatest value comes from who they are. The way they listen. The way they encourage. The way they care. The way they continue moving forward even when nobody is watching. Those qualities are rare. Far rarer than most people realize. And because they are rare, they leave lasting impressions. That is why this message feels different. It is not asking you to become someone else. It is reminding you of something you may have forgotten. You already possess qualities that matter. You already carry strengths that inspire. You already have a story worth remembering. The challenge is that people often see their weaknesses more clearly than their strengths. They focus on what they lack. They focus on what went wrong. They focus on what they wish they could change. Meanwhile, they overlook the qualities that others admire most. And that is where today's message becomes powerful. Because someone may want you to hear what you have been unable to tell yourself. You matter. Your presence matters. Your journey matters. And your story matters. Not someday. Not eventually. Right now. At this very moment. But there is another revelation waiting. A revelation connected to the future. Because every meaningful story contains a turning point. A moment when everything begins to make sense. A moment when scattered pieces suddenly connect. A moment when a person realizes that they were closer to something wonderful than they ever imagined. And what if that moment is approaching for you? What if the chapter ahead contains opportunities you cannot yet see? What if the things you have been learning were preparing you for something greater? That possibility changes everything. Because instead of looking backward with regret, you begin looking forward with anticipation. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen?" you begin asking, "What is this preparing me for?" And those are very different questions. One looks at endings. The other looks at beginnings. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next revelation may be the most unexpected one yet. It concerns a hidden connection between your past experiences and your future possibilities. A connection that has been quietly forming for much longer than you realize. Think about every lesson you learned. Every challenge you overcame. Every unexpected turn. Every person who crossed your path. What if none of it was wasted? What if every experience added a piece to a puzzle that is only now beginning to reveal its image? Imagine seeing that image clearly. Imagine realizing that your journey contained more meaning than you ever suspected. Imagine understanding that even the moments that seemed ordinary were helping shape something extraordinary. That understanding creates confidence. That understanding creates hope. And that understanding is closer than you think. Very close. Because the next part of this message uncovers the hidden gift that has been growing within you all along. A gift that could change the way you see yourself forever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most powerful revelation is still ahead. An extraordinary realization is about to unfold. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You have come this far for a reason. Every part of this message has been leading to this moment. Because now we arrive at a truth that surprises almost everyone. The message someone may want you to hear is not simply about the impact you have already made. It is also about the potential that still exists within you. Most people underestimate themselves. They see only a fraction of what they are capable of becoming. They focus on their limitations instead of their possibilities. They focus on closed doors instead of open horizons. But today, imagine viewing your life from a completely different perspective. Imagine seeing yourself through the eyes of someone who truly appreciates you. Someone who remembers your strength. Someone who remembers your kindness. Someone who remembers your determination. Someone who remembers the way you kept going when giving up would have been easier. What would they say? Would they describe you as weak? No. Would they describe you as incapable? No. Would they describe you as forgotten? Absolutely not. They would describe someone who kept moving forward. Someone who continued learning. Someone who continued growing. Someone who continued becoming. And that is why this message matters. Because sometimes the most important voice you need to hear is the voice that reminds you of your own value. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now imagine a future version of yourself. A version that has learned from every lesson. A version that has gained wisdom from every experience. A version that understands things that seem confusing today. If that future version could speak to you right now, what would it say? Perhaps it would say, keep going. Keep believing. Keep growing. Because the story is not over. In fact, some of the most meaningful pages have not even been written yet. That thought alone is powerful. There are opportunities you have not seen. Connections you have not made. Memories you have not created. Moments of joy you have not experienced. And chapters of your journey that are still waiting to begin. The beautiful thing about life is that no one can fully predict the amazing moments that may be ahead. One ordinary day can become unforgettable. One conversation can change perspective. One decision can open a completely new path. And one realization can transform everything. That realization may be arriving right now. Because here is the hidden gift that has been quietly growing within you. Resilience. The ability to continue. The ability to adapt. The ability to learn. The ability to rise. That gift is more valuable than many people realize. It allows you to keep moving when others stop. It allows you to keep believing when others doubt. It allows you to keep growing when others remain the same. And every experience you have lived through has strengthened that gift. Little by little. Step by step. Day by day. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now there is one final thought I want you to carry with you. Somewhere, someone may want you to know that your story inspired them. They may never say it directly. They may never find the perfect words. They may never fully explain it. But that does not make it any less real. Because the influence we have on others often travels farther than we can see. Your kindness travels farther than you know. Your encouragement travels farther than you know. Your example travels farther than you know. And your presence travels farther than you know. That is the heartwarming message hidden within this entire journey. You matter more than you realize. You are remembered more than you know. And you have contributed more goodness to the world than you may ever fully understand. As this part comes to a close, remember this. The story is still unfolding. The journey is still continuing. The possibilities are still expanding. And the most beautiful chapters may still be ahead. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the final part will reveal the most uplifting and unforgettable message of all, a message that brings everything together and leaves you with a perspective you may carry for a very long